Hi friends, it's Susan Smith with StampCreatively. So I came down here on Saturday and I set it all up and I did all of my projects and I got it all ready to go. My sister came into town. There's three of us. The middle one lives in Texas. She came into town and it got a little busy. So I didn't record it. I'm going to record it on Sunday. Didn't happen. We decided to have a Monday morning meeting, the three sisters going over all the parent stuff. I'll do it when I come home. On my way home Monday, I got a phone call that Dad had fallen at the golf course. Of course, my 92-year-old, almost 93-year-old dad still golfs, works as a cart boy every week. So he had fallen. They said he hurt his thumb. So went and got him. Sisters and I took him to a clinic, a walk-in ortho clinic. We were there about an hour. And my sister went, I think he might be bleeding. Well, they don't take you if you're bleeding. So they gave us, truth, one of those bags you put over an umbrella and slid his hand in it so that he wouldn't drip blood. We went to the ER. 6 hours later, after they had decided he had a compound fracture in his thumb, they x-rayed his head and his neck because he had, just to make sure, because we weren't sure he hit his face, they x-rayed his thumb and his knee. We were told they couldn't do any surgeries there because they didn't have an ortho doctor that would come in and do the thumb. So we drove an hour to another hospital, waited in the waiting room because you had to readmit for probably 45 minutes, got home about 11:30 Monday night with surgery done, Dad's thumb all wrapped up. He stayed with my sister and he's there. I take him back tomorrow to get it checked out because now it's Wednesday, and Wednesday at 4:30 I'm finally doing this. All right, let's see if I can get this done and show you the cute things I planned over the weekend. So I planned to use Sentimental framing, which is an online exclusive, and it's just words and a bunch of frame dies. I'll show you the dies in a second. So I wanted to use the Sentimental framing, online exclusive, and I paired it with the Extraordinary Floral. And this was one of the first ones I wanted. So I ordered the bundle, forgot to order the washi tape. So I finally got the washi tape and have been playing with it. So let me show you what I made, and then I'm going to show you how I made them. I did the washi tape. This is my party bowl. Washi tape where I stamped it and put the washi tape over the top, then cut it out. Washi tape on white cardstock, washi tape on window sheet, and washi tape on parchment paper. Okay. So I'll show you the cards I created. This is no washi tape. This is it just stamped with the fun dies. These are two of the dies that go with the Sentimental framing. Okay, that's it stamped. This is the washi tape on window sheet. Stamped washi tape. Stamped and then the washi tape over the top with one of those fun frames. Washi tape on white cardstock. This one was window sheet. Did I say window sheet with this one? This is window sheet. This is white cardstock. And then the washi tape on the parchment paper. I haven't created the project yet, but look. I'm going to put it on vanilla this time. So let me show you how I did it. So I found that this floral on the washi tape, this one right here, is I look for that one to run it through. So this is washi tape on window sheet, die cut. The washi tape on the white cardstock, and then I just die cut it. And then the washi tape on the parchment paper, I just got some parchment paper and I cut it. The cardstock and the window sheet are all cut 6x3. I end up with a little bit of extra on each end, but it gives me a little bit to work with. And by going 3 inches, I get the full washi tape images, but I have a little bit that then sticks to my plates, which is helpful. So to put the washi tape on here, I know that this is my top pattern. So that's the length that I need to go one trip through the die cut machine. And I used my mini boss for most of it. And it doesn't really stick to itself. It does very well. And then I'm just going to lay it on here. And then run it through. Lines up great. So with this one, this is where I've stamped it. I stamped it in, not that, Secret C. So that it's stamped in Secret C. And the reason I did that was because this card was all done in Secret C and it was all just sitting here. So there's my Secret C. To put the washi tape on it, it wasn't the easiest thing to do. Like I laid it down. You know, I think sometimes it stretches or scooches. So let me get that to lay out. But I wanted it to be right on top of the images. So to do that, so I've been gone all day. I had some dad stuff this morning. It's been a busy day. Today is my son's 35th birthday. And he is that heart failure patient that I dealt with in the fall. And so we're going to my husband and I are going to run a mile for him. That's what he requested, that we all do a little bit of cardio today. So my husband and I are going to run a mile when I'm done with this. I will not post a picture, one of me running a mile or one what I look like after I've run a mile. So it was almost easier for me to do this to get him exactly where I wanted him. Plus, you just saw me like struggling with the washi tape. But this way I could line them up, each individual one. So I did it that way. Isn't it pretty? If you don't have this, friends, I highly recommend it. Because it's easy to cut. And see, I'm almost back to the top again. Because this is the flower that's the top. So we'll see if I can get these. And see how it's going, it goes over just a little bit, so it's sticking to my table, which is perfect because it helps it stick to the plate when I run it through the folder. Now see, that one's going to line up pretty close to perfect. See that flower, the bottom of that flower, it's not going where I want it to. These 3 did. There are so my dad's still complaining about his knee, so I said, I'll call and make him an appointment for his knee. So I called this morning, and of course they have to call you back, so I was waiting for a phone call, and I got a phone call that said healthcare, and they asked for Dad. I'm like, I am so glad you called. Thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited. We need to get him in for his knee. And the lady said, ma'am, and I said, yes. And she goes, I'm calling about your dad's thyroid. On one of the scans they did, they said he has a nodule that we need to look at. And I was like, what? I've got a compound fracture of a thumb and a knee I need to worry about before we get that. She goes, I agree. I said, is this a 911? She goes, nope. but we just want to look at him. And I go, okay, let me get this hand taken care of. We're having handrails put in his apartment. We got him a scooter to get around where he lives. And then, so he has a scooter. He's got handrails. We got one of those recliners that lift him up out of the chair. I mean, we've been busy because he can't put any pressure on that hand to lift himself up out of the chair. So every time my sister's been watching him, and she'll call and she'll go, well, we need to do this. So we've been crazy busy. And then when she called about the thyroid, I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, they saw I don't know, lump on his thyroid. And so we Googled it, of course. And they said he would have problems swallowing. They listed some of the stuff, and he ain't got no problems swallowing. He got problems eating because he's got a thumb. Okay, see how pretty that looks? Isn't that good? So then, again, I'll just line it up, run it through and cut it out, and put it in my pile. So let me show you the dies. So the dies that go with the Sentimental framing, the online exclusives, it's got all of these get cut out of one. This is a 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. I only needed an extra little square. The rest of them I got out of there. So then I put them all on my foam and used my brush to get out the dots. Now, I did that, but those dots don't always bother me. I'll show you here. Some of those in there don't bother me. You can poke them all out if you want. But so there's that piece. This one, and I use them all in my cards. This one cuts out that center, and then it's also got a frame. This one cuts out this piece and also has a frame. And then this is a border, and that's this one. So I used them all. I have a team meeting coming up, and we're going to do this. They'll cut out all of this. They'll cut out all of this. And then they'll put together the cards. So this one, I took a 3 by 6 just because I had them cut out. And then I'll just trim it when I go to mount it on here. Because I was using blends, scooch those up, I wanted to mount this. So to stamp it, I'm going to use the Secret C. I'm going to make sure it's inked well. And then I had a better success rate when I put this on the foam. You can see my foam has been well loved. Scooch it up here so you can see it. So I'm going to put it on here. And then I'm just going to rub it all down. Use all of my muscles. That's the other thing. My sister had someone coming over today to help her out. In fact, I need to mute my phone because there'll be a phone call here in a minute. She had a friend who's a physical therapist come over and meet with her to help her get him out of the chair and give him helpful tips and tricks of standing and what he needs to do. You know, because, I mean, he's 93, but we want him to not make this, you know, bring him way down. Okay, so the words, I used this one. And then I used the congratulations, but I'm going to use this one this time. This one says, I'm just going to dip it in the Secret C. You make everything feel all right. then don't tell anyone I did this. I'll clean this off later. It's still got a little ink on it, but I'm going to need that block again. I'm going to close up the Secret C. And then I love our new in color, so I use the dark and light cloud cover to color all of my flowers. And so I just kind of went in with the dark, hit the center of the flowers, and then like with the leaves, hit the bottom of the leaves. I won't make you watch me color all this. And then I took the light and then just blended it all. And it looked so pretty when I was all done. So I did one, ran it through the Boss, and then did a second one to put on here, and then added my flowers. So these are still the flowers I have left over. I took this and put it on here, and I cut off 1 inch. So I have 1 inch cut off there. And then I'll just trim those once it's mounted on there. Here's my words with my pretty flowers. And then this piece goes right here. And if I really want to make it beautiful, I should have done this the first time. Oh, now it's going to show through. So you have to be okay with having a little bleeding through if you're going to do this, because it's going to show. This is actually the 1 inch piece I cut off. So the 1 inch piece I cut off I used to put right back on there with the cloud cover showing through. It worked better to take this off and die cut it and then put it back on. Plus then I think it's more interesting with this piece. Quit. But see, you're gonna have a little bit of show through. Okay. So that's one. Move that out of the way. Here's card 2. And so what I did with this one is I took my basic white, folded it in half, and then I used our foam strips. And I just whacked, made them a little shorter. And put them on the back of here to raise this up. I didn't want it over the holes. I was trying to get it not over the holes, so it fit like in these spots. We're going to cut it because tearing it didn't work very well. So I put those in here. And then stuck it on. Oh, and the gems, I use the same gems on all of them. I use the 25-27 in color flat. That's what's on here. This one has the cloud cover and the Secret C. This one that I'm working on now has a little bit of all of them, it looks like. Okay, so I put that down. I used the large Thinking of You and put it in the middle. I stamped in the Secret Sea again. I'm going to stick with one color ink. And then I just took, these are the ones that are on the white. And then this one isn't going to look the same as this one because I have different leaves. But they all look good. Now in the rotation of florals, they change. It gets like there's the rose this color, and then it changes. So see how easy that is? And then I added my gems and we were done. I tucked some so that they went behind and some just laid on top. So there's that one. That's card 2. This one's number 3. I stamped the words. Again, I took another half sheet of basic white. And then because I wanted to run my ribbon around it, I also used a quarter sheet. Oh, here's a quarter sheet. So then I put the quarter sheet on top. I ran my new Darling Duckling around and made a bow. And then this one is done with the one that has window sheet on the back. I added this little square up over here with beautiful things on it. And then this one down here. But I have all these pretty things that I can add on top and on bottom. So this one I tucked some underneath and then I put some on top. I stuck them all on with glue dots, and then there's those pretty flat gems again. Everything's stuck on with glue dots. Super simple, because that's the way I like it best. Here's the 4th one. So I took a fold over piece of basic white and then a quarter sheet, which is 4 by 5 1/4. And this is the Glass and Gardens. I ran that through. And I mounted this one on here after I colored this with blends. And then this is one that's done on white cardstock too. But this is the one that I just showed you done this way. And see how there's different colors? So as you go through the washi tape, you just get different colors. These will also change a little bit too. This goes a little more of the peacock. So that's the word stamped out. And again, I just colored this piece with blends, mounted it on here, put it on my white, and added the florals. And then there's those gems again. Pretty. Okay. Now I have one more, and this one's not created. So I've taken the 4 by 5 1/4, a half a sheet of vanilla, now I have this, and I'm going to put some of these on here. Oh, let's decide what words I want to use. That one curled. Here it goes. So I still have, I'm So Grateful. That's the one I wanted to use. I tried to use it earlier and it didn't fit on the tag that I had. So I'm going to be grateful here for a minute. I have a lot to be grateful for with the last couple of days we've had. Grateful for a lot of things. And I think I'm going to put it right over here, kind of where I've started building my flowers. So these have just kind of peeled off. So it's like a little sticker, and I can kind of put them anywhere I want, which I do love. Put this one here. Isn't that pretty? So all of these here just came off of, that's the washi tape, and they have window sheet stuck to the back. So if I wanted to layer it and put a dimensional behind it, I don't know how that would work. But I like this. I'm totally fine putting my little stickers on. And again, some of the washi tape is still stuck to the parchment, some of it's off. Here we go, we're gonna take that off. Okay, I want to keep going, but I think I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop after I put this on the inside. And really, if you look, you have to look close to see that that's not stamped. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna add this to here. I'm gonna go back to my gems. And they all look good. I'm gonna use a couple of Secret C's. I'm so grateful. Okay, so if you're a part of my team and you're coming to the meeting on Monday, now you know what you're making. I try to keep it a surprise. So you're going to make 5 projects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you'll make 5 projects and you have all the information to have your own class. All right, friends, thanks for joining me. I finally accomplished the video. I feel real good about myself. Have a great day, and I'll be back to stamp with you again soon. If you want more information on me, this is where you find it. I'm at StampCreatively.com. Thanks, friends.